and are proudly made in the USA. Place orders at reusablecanninglids.com or call 1-877-747-2793. 877-747-2793. Call 877-747-2793 or go to reusablecanninglids.com. That's reusablecanninglids.com for Tadler Reusable Canning Lids, the original since 1976.
By the way, if you've studied history, as the globalists have, when they execute an implosion of an economy, it normally goes into a worse tyranny, and that's what they've been setting up lovingly. And so we are headed into very dark times, but if we're able to pre-position the info, warn people, it's not going to go well for the globalists. So we're in a race to get the word out. John in South Carolina, you're on the air worldwide.
Hey, Alex. Hey, how you doing? Just want to thank you for everything you do. And my wife and I woke up about a year ago, and we went out and purchased your DVDs, and now we're trying to wake up as many people as we possibly can. One of the things I wanted to discuss with you is the state of the economy and it's the blatant manipulation of the markets. Where the common person can't really be able to take advantage of the market runs.
Well, yeah, because it's a rigged casino. It's like going to Las Vegas and trying to win. I mean, you might win 3 times out of 10, but in the aggregate, you're going to lose. And they use Wall Street's health and the health of overall stock prices as the only barometer of the economy. It's completely false.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I trade futures and commodities full time, and I'll tell you, you look at the charts and you see what they do on a daily basis, and it's just amazing. The other day, markets went straight up, and today they come out with a ADP report where they added 201,000 jobs out of thin air, and it's just so blatant. They're not even trying to even cover it up anymore. And one of the other things too is I'm trying to educate people about the Federal Reserve and how it operates. And one of the books that I picked up was by Ellen Hodgson, Web of Debt, and I use also The Secret of Oz, Bill Still's video, and excellent resource on the system and how they use it against us.
And by the way, we're in a race to wake up the general public, because if we don't explain to them what's really happening, the globalists are going to pose as the saviors in the crisis they created and clamp down on us even more. Every person you wake up, especially pastors, police chiefs, mayors, county commissioners, school board, bankers, the more people you wake up and the more people that see that you're awake, then they feel safe in coming out themselves for freedom. We're in a race against the globalist. I cannot stress that enough.
And one more thing is that, at the federal level, trying to combat this at the federal level, I really don't think that, we as an average citizen really stand a chance. I think what we should do is basically try to combat this at the state level.
That's why the John Warner Defense Authorization Act says that they'll take over the states if governors try to do what the people say. You're absolutely right. That's the 10th Amendment, 9th Amendment remedy. That's what they're scared of. We've got to have a dual fight to expose the feds as illegitimate, run by foreign bankers, take the states back. It's beginning to happen. Great job. Appreciate your call. Great points. Jesse in Louisiana, you're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Hey, Alex. Before I get into it, I just wanted to, illustrate my qualifications. I'm a veteran. I've been in the war for 70 years. Fought in Afghanistan, Iraq, Africa. And we conducted a lot of field studies regarding suicide bombers, extremist culture, forced threat prevention, that kind of stuff. And the first thing that really got me looking at this situation in Libya and then now here with these letters, they use the exact same verbiage about going into war in Afghanistan even before 9/11. I'm looking at an article now from June of 2001 where they were talking about, quote, limited military action, which is exactly the same terms they use in going into Libya. Of course, now it's kinetic action, but in dealing with these letters, I mean, first of all, you have to just look at the implausibility of the whole story. I mean, there's so many controls around nuclear weapons. The thought that they could go unaccounted for the time it would take to get the material, build it, distribute it, place it, write the letters, send them out. Nobody saw this material missing yet. I mean, before the...
well, plus even Russian and U.S.-built frogs or small tacks a lot of times didn't even work because they're so delicate. But we're to believe al-Qaeda placed and never got caught in 160 missions burying nukes. It's
a lot of material to not be noticed. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know when that plutonium or whatever went missing up in Vancouver before the Olympics, everybody knew about that as soon as it happened.
Sir, to say that to hype that al-Qaeda has 160 nukes buried in government buildings, I mean that is completely impossible.
It's very impossible.
Unless it's an inside job.
Well, it's got to be, but I mean...
Hold on, I got Dr. Paul Craig Roberts coming up, but for 1 minute when we come back, I want to ask you as a seasoned military veteran, what do you think about al-Qaeda always being protected by the Pentagon and Anwar al-Awlaki hanging out at the Pentagon? We're getting Roberts on now, but I want to have you answer that question, then I'm going to ask him the question on the other side.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, it seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365. A very wealthy U.S. citizen is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He says it will change everything about our lives. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your own family. Now, this man has made some outrageous predictions over the years. The crazy part is, he's usually right. You see, he predicted the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. Recently, he created a video, which you can watch online for free, detailing his biggest and most important prediction yet. And it's a real eye-opener. I can't stress this enough. You should at least watch this free video online today. He explains everything you need to know, including simple steps you can take to protect yourself. You can find the video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica, the number 3.com. Watch the free video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com. Paul Craig Roberts joining us by phone here in a moment. And we're going to get to George, Perry, Robert, and Jasper, at least while Roberts is on with us. But I want to get Robert's take on his new article published at Infowars.com and many other places, about Obama takes the U.S. to new levels of hypocrisy. We'll also get his expertise on the housing numbers that are coming out and the fact that the Fed's monetizing more and more of the debt and how he sees the Japan crisis tying into all that. Former head of policy, Department of Treasury, father of Reaganomics, no stranger to this show. But Jesse, I threw the question out with the head of NATO admitting that, yes, al-Qaeda was the first group, the core group, attacking Muammar Gaddafi. Anwar al-Awlaki hanging out secretly at the Pentagon, but back in the news today, menacing us. The underwear bomber he controlled, the U.S. agents helping get the underwear bomber on the plane. I mean, is the military aware of the fact that, sure, there's some useful idiot ground Islamicists that really believe they're jihading, but the leadership of these guys is basically tied into this corporate crime syndicate and is being used to attack the Serbs, attack Gaddafi, to menace the U.S. into giving up our liberties. I mean, what's your view on that as a veteran?
Well, I know for a fact, you know, when you're in a leadership position and you're told to do stuff, you know, you got blinders on and it's all you can do to just do what you're told and get through whatever it is we have to get through. But I mean, we were very frustrated on the ground, especially in Afghanistan, because no matter where we would go, it was like al-Qaeda was like a phantom. It was like this mystery boogeyman that, like, we would go to villages and we would be told in our intelligence reports, oh, you're the first Americans to ever go in this area. And we'd get there and we'd see, like, MRE trash on the ground, and people would be like, you know, our interpreters would talk to the locals, and they'd be like, oh, yeah, there's some white guys here, like, 2 hours ago. And, like... Yeah,
it's a wild goose chase, and the Times of London reports... Thousands of Taliban and al-Qaeda leaders that were caught in 2001, 2002 were ordered to be released and then paid. Did you guys know about that?
Yeah, well, we don't receive any information. We're so busy and over there doing what we're doing. I mean, there were some times when we'd get to see the news and we'd see Geraldo or somebody on there talking about something that never even happened, like on missions that we were on, and just completely fabricating being attacked and getting contact with the enemy and everything. And we were just told, you know, oh, well, don't worry about that. That's just, you know, that's just news speak and blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, it was just like, no matter what misinformation was being put out there, it was just, you know, oh, just do your job and be a good soldier, and, you know, we'll take care of the American people.
Well, that's it. You know? Al-Qaeda is a phantom chess piece that they put on the map wherever they want to invade, or they have al-Qaeda attack the Serbs, attack Gaddafi, and then humanitarian bombing. And they're now admitting, yeah, we're going to land troops, but it's going to be humanitarian backup to the rebels. And then they admit in fine print they were there months ago setting the whole thing up. It's incredible. God bless you, sir. I appreciate your call. I wanted to basically ask that question of the Afghanistan-Iraq veteran as I then pose it to you, Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, because now I'm finally going on big national conservative shows, and mainline big hosts are saying, you're right, Alex. I guess it is true. Al-Qaeda is a creation of the Pentagon, and you're right, it's all staged. So I really think they've gone too far. Dr. Roberts, what's your take on this?
Well, Alex, I can't claim to know. My own opinion is that the war on terror is a hoax, and it's a cover for undeclared agendas. And I don't know what all those agendas are. I have some idea about what some of them might be. And I also suspect that al-Qaeda is a hoax, that there's really no such thing other than something that the CIA has created as part of this undeclared agenda. But I don't know. I don't have any inside information, and anyone who doesn't tell me. But I've been suspicious of this war on terror since the beginning, because I remember a neighbor called